So what were you saying? What were you saying?
I so,
Yeah, but
so you know, as a grown man, like fully grown, I they say you start growing at 27, that's a man, right? 26, 27. I'm entering my 30s, right? I can't understand in this position, looking back when I was a kid, the adults of my time, when I'm 15, 14, 13, 12, the 30-year-olds, 29, 80s, of that my time, being obsessed with kids, wanting to talk to kids, being kids' faces, wanting to influence
walking
kids
up on
to
me and
do
shit,
certain
baby.
things or influence them to be a certain way around other kids, like or dictate their lives or have involvement. Like I can't understand that. I have like no desire. I have no like the very thought process of wanting to be around anyone under the age of like 23 makes me feel uncomfortable. Right? I don't get it. Like it's like a complete like what do I have to I don't understand like if I went up to a 11, 12 year old, what the fuck could I possibly talk with have in common with this person? Right? Like I like I don't what would I say to them? They're children, right? They're little babies. What the fuck would I like excuse the language, but what would I have or why would I want to influence. Like if it was my child, of course, right? Like I'm like, okay, yeah, make sure you're a certain type of way, for the betterment of them, right? Like, but that's a little different from some random person's child on a fucking playground. A grown adult walking by a playground of children playing. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go over there and try to get this little boy to fight this other little boy. What the fuck is wrong with? Oh my god, what's wrong with you? Right? I've had times where I was on like the basketball court with all the other 12, 13 year olds, right? Here comes 21, 22, 23, 24, 5 year old, whoever the fuck, right, coming over. Can I play with you guys? Boy, it's not like it was like an open basketball court for everybody. It was a elementary school playground, right? With during an elementary school, right, sessions, right? It's not like it was empty and you just came over with your boys. No, you came over knowing that there was children there and came over. And why the hell, for one, why did any of the adults stop this?
Yeah, I
Right?
remember being a kid and adults being like, "Oh, that's fucking weird. Why do you want to be around little kids?" And I agreed with them. I totally agree with them, and I was just like, "Yeah, but like, no one's like, I feel like I'm the only one saying anything." You know what I mean?
When I was younger, when I was like, I tried to not see it as super weird because I'm like, my love for like basketball. I was like, maybe that basketball is basketball, right? At the end of the day, but now that I literally look back at it, I'm like, bro, that's not one bit of me, right? Even later in my life, let's say like 19, 20-year old Cam, like 10 years ago, right? I remember when I used to play a lot of basketball, and I used to go down to my park and I'd see like other 12 or 13 year olds playing with each other. Guess who I didn't walk up to be like, hey, you want to play a game? Me. I didn't go up to them. I said, you know what? I'd rather go play by myself. Now, if they came over to me and they wanted to play, I'm like, oh, okay, you can shoot around because if I had the only ball, right,
Yeah.
it's a little different, right? I'm like, okay, I'm not going to stop you guys from playing basketball with me because you're kids, right? Like, you're just kids. That's being nice, right? But me, for pursuing children, pursuing that is fucking weird. And I've had that happen so often. Or I've seen it happen, and it's not just basketball, right? It'll be soccer, it'll be kickball, it'll be just a playground, or even the worst out of all of it, right? If there's any weirdos out there to be like, oh, well, it's kidding, innocent. You're okay. Justify trying to walk up to kids after school, trying to hang out with them, right? Well, hey, you want to come over to my house? Or hey, you want to walk on you? You want to walk and chill? Let's go to the store together. Like, let's go down here. Let's hang out. Who? My God! Why? And I've seen this happen with other kids.
Or
Other,
getting in kids dating. Like, dude, you're
oh,
fucking 30. What are
oh
you
my
worried
God!
about? It's a 30-year-old. I could never imagine going to 12-year-olds like, who you dating? Why you did? Like, are you that fucking bored? Like, we have so much entertainment amongst our own age group and people that we know, like from Job Corps and like different areas in our life outside of like I don't know. I don't even like even people from high school. Like I don't have any beef with high school people or anything like that. But like I don't like think about them like that.
I would when I was on the bus when I years after I was left high school, years and years, right? But me, I'm on the bus, and there's high schoolers in the back, he hollering or whatever, right? Because that's what they do. Guess who I didn't want to talk to? Them. I don't want to talk to them, right? I have no interest in that. And I don't understand. I want to be around people my age, right? Like this isn't like, hey, I'm going to a family reunion. Here's my little cousin, right? What's up? Like, no, this is people going out of their way to go talk to children or be a part of their lives, and I really find that strange, and uncomfortable. And basically, what I was saying was, as an adult now, not to look back and say, now I am now the adult of that looking back I put myself in this position. I'm walking by, close my eyes, I'm walking by that very same elementary school that I went to, and I see all the kids running around do dolly or whatever. Guess who's not going over there to mess with any of them? Me. I'm going to home or wherever I'm going to go to. Go talk to my wife. Go hang out with my wife or my people who are my age.
I'll be real with you. I don't like going around schools. Yeah, loud as hell. And like support the kids. Yeah, be loud as you want to be, but I don't really find it like necessity to be near them. I don't know.
I love basketball. What am I not going to go over there to their basketball court to play basketball with them? Right? Why would I? I'm like they're, they're short. And why would I want to dominate over them? And what? I never got that. Like, I've had grown ass men dunk on me and be like, "Oh yeah, like, bro, of course you could. It's 6 foot fucking seven. I'm like 5 foot
I
three.
definitely didn't have Peter Pan syndrome. What do you think?
Huh?
I think they have Peter Pan syndrome.
Oh, Peter. Yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, you feel good. You beat a fucking like a little kid in fucking 21. Like, congratulations. You're bigger than me. Of course, I'm literally like trying to guard a grown ass man, and I'm like, bro, I can't stop you. Like, what am I gonna do, right? And I was one of the bigger kids, or if not one of the biggest kids there. I couldn't do shit. Oh my god.
I didn't say I was bullied or this because I wouldn't talk to them. I didn't view them as like a safe adult in my opinion. So I didn't want to communicate with them, and they would take that like, oh well, I'm gonna get them to bully you. Bitch, you're fucking 45. Why are you talking to a 12-year-old to begin with? Shut the fuck up. Oh, they just use a piss to me off. And I never told my dad. My dad's a little bit of a hothead. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna tell my dad. Like, he's gonna cut that head out. But it's just like ridiculous, like the stuff we dealt with.
Yeah. That was on my mind thinking back, like, like really taking the perspective, like we're the adults now, right? We're the adults, and looking back at it, it's like, what, or, and I don't want to really go to a tangent or anything, but like adults who like try to justify, like, how do I say this? Adults had influence over the minds of children because they are the leaders, right? They're who kids look up to for guidance, right? Obviously, kids they'll go up to. I've had grown ups men come up to me and be like, "Oh, bro, if you like a girl, beat her up." But what?
Really?
Who,
Weird.
sir? I can tell why you were probably divorced. Well, why would you tell me to do that? Right? Like, oh, it's just boys being boys. Let's go beat up. Like, if you girls, like, if you really like her, or I'm actually, you know what? Back in when I was a little boy, I had I had to have been in third grade, second or third grade, and there was this girl. Now, God, I can't remember her name. Right? God, it was so lovely girl. I can't remember this girl, little girl name of it. This little girl in my class. Now, she was an ass. Right? She was terrible to me. Right? I was trying to get me in trouble, expelled, saying terrible shit. Like I hit her. I'm like, bro, I've never had an interaction with this girl. Like I know if I actually went to my mother, she would remember who this person is. Right? She was awful. I'm like, oh my god, I like when it was like you dread going to school get to this person. God, I can't remember have his memory, right? And later on, I'm told she likes me. I'm like, oh, what the fuck, right? Why the fuck would you go through all of that just to like somebody, right? Like, why would you? Like, what makes you think in your brain, right? Like, oh, I like you. I'm gonna cause you misery. Then to find out adults are telling us to do this because not too long later in my life, I've had grown men tell me that exact same thing. What is I'm like, bro, you are an adult. You are like you are like am I reading this wrong? Like you're telling me you have the influence to guide me, right? Or children to and you're telling us to fuck like to beat each other up and cause like harm and indecisiveness and fucking trauma just because you have a little crush. What like who again
It
I'm
makes no sense. No, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh
See.
go ahead.
No, it just makes no sense because I don't know. Like, I remember telling like, I remember being told to like ignore guys or like, oh, you must like him since you're ignoring him. And it's like, no, I was really ignoring them because like maybe the kids get on my nerves. So, you know how kids be, they just get on your fucking nerves. Like, oh, get away from me, other kids. And I just remember like that being such a common scenario of like bully the person you like. Why are you a grown ass adult encouraging that shit? Or I'm gonna piggyback to something else if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to piggyback to the fact that like I was thinking the other day how many grown people like pried into like my sexual life when I was a kid. I was not doing that, and they were like prying into it like as if like I was another adult chatting up with, even if you were another adult, if you don't want to talk about something you shouldn't have to, but like especially at that age.
Uh yeah, adults who just are obsessed with like now, I'm not saying kids have a sexual life or sexual life or whatever, but like they it's like an obsession, or people be like, oh yeah, you fast, bro. Like I have heard adults say that to kids. I'm like, bro, the idea that you would like, oh, this is honest. This could go to a whole other series of conversations, but again, it all comes back to adults and their, and then like I'm thinking that there's a lot of mentally ill adults,
Yeah, that's that pedophilia syndrome.
mentally
That's
ill.
something development. They still feel like they're one of us, even like when they were like way older. They still felt like a teenager. They weren't.
Like
They weren't.
I can't understand it. Like it's just again as the adults of of our time. If those are the people who are they're like what they're like their 50s now. I cannot, and they still won't sit down and admit that they were fucking creeps and weirdos. They,
Like that's just how I am. Oh, I'm just grow. Oh yeah, I had teachers tell me to grow up when they brought up that, you know, um, S and then your ex. Yeah, they would like say stuff about that, and then when I was like, I don't want to talk about this, they would grow up, be an adult, and one, respect boundaries. Two, I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. Like, what is wrong with you?
teachers, parents, random adults. I do not get the last like generations or so up to this point, or maybe even now still, of adults. Like they just don't seem to have the. They just it's just they feel like they are someone or like they're not. Or I don't I just don't get it and it creeps me out. And and again, I think me and my wife had a conversation like this not too long ago. If she recorded it or not, but we were talking about like adults and stuff, and like what I would do about our kids. I just it makes me feel fearful, right? Because I'm like, people who out there, what twisted adult, right? Who's ill, right? Is gonna try to tell my son, right? You're gonna beat up someone because he's gonna know not to do that before anyone ever tells him that. He's gonna look at that person like he's a fucking weirdo, right? Like you are a weirdo. You're stupid. You know what I mean? Like who raised you? You know what I mean? I don't get it. I think people just there needs to be a huge evaluation. Like I don't know. Like something needs to happen because there's too many just not just stay away from kids. If I have anything to say,
And then lying and pretending like that kid tried to talk to you. Yo, I've had grown men say, "Oh, she tried to talk to me." I was so disgusted. Like and it's like people laughing, think it's funny, but that's just funny about it. Like it's really not. Or lying and trying to lie and put stuff on me that I never did because they were being inappropriate with me. But they will never directly address it with you because they know better. Because they know you'll air everything out. So they try to go around it and like put little seeds of doubt in people's head without directly addressing you because they know they can't face the truth, which is coming at you. You know what I mean?
like in in the event, which it was true, right? Let's say you're not lying, but you just sit. It's one thing for that to happen because the kids are stupid, right? It's another thing for you to sit there and try to go along with it, and then all of a sudden you're trying to justify it. Screw you. It changes nothing, right? Like you're fucking weird. If you try to, oh yeah, she talked to me, and I was like, okay, I just agree with it. Yes, fuck. I'm sorry. Like you had to beat me up for that one. I just hate.
Why don't you want to date someone who's like cool and 21 and can go like drinking with you and do like fun stuff that you clearly like to do? Why are you going after this kid and giving them those things? That doesn't make sense to me.
I do not. Or
Yeah, it's like cowardly. What if it's well done?
no, it's using me up. Like when I said about the basketball court thing, right? Like I wouldn't, I never in my life would have so much kids like I wouldn't play with you guys. But there's, but everyone in the court knows, like, hey, kid comes up, nobody's going to stop a kid from wanting to learn how to play basketball, right? I as a kid, with other people, like I had to learn how to play, but again, it's completely different. That's a completely different scenario for like, hey, little fucking kid. I don't know. It's so there's boundaries. There's common sense. There's there's words that I can't think of right now.
I had a person who was actively harassing me in that manner, try to say, "Oh, the reason why I have such a complex is probably because I'm guilty." Bitch, I'm not harassing you. You're harassing me. You're harassing me. That's why I have a complex because of people like you. That shit pissed me off so bad. And I was at work and I couldn't scream, and I was so mad because I'm like, you fool! Like it's like the way that it's called Darvo. It's a deny, reverse, accuse, victim, something offender, victim offender. Yeah, Darvo. Yeah, deny, accuse, reverse, victim offender. Because they'll take what they're doing to you and try to flip it back onto you, even though they know you've done nothing wrong. But they'll just like throw anything that sticks at you because they know that they're wrong.
I had I had grown men. I remember I was what 15, 14. And I wasn't in school at the time. Or was I? I don't remember where I was. But I remember like this guy. I was one of a group of guys, I guess. And it really wasn't my friends, but I mean, I was there. I don't remember. I don't remember the situation. I just know this happened. And I remember one of the oldest, or a guy was like probably 20 something, 22, 3, 4, right? And I'm 15. And he asked me, I'm like, hey man, you a virgin? I'm like, bro, in what world would you want to know? What can you give me 3 reasons why you need to have this information? Right? Like what would make why what would drive you to want to know if I was a virgin or not? What is wrong with you? Right? Like that's weird. And this is a 26, like 25, like I don't know, 35. I still was like, bro. Now, for one, as a man, why do you need to know that? This is off the gate, right off the gate. Why do you want to know that? I've never asked that person that in my life.
Why is that like an inquisitive topic for you? Because like I just don't think that's an inquisitive topic for me. I don't want to know. I don't care what you're doing.
I mean, I think the only people that would ever want to know if you're that or not, legitimately, is like a doctor,
Yeah.
or if you want to bang it.
Yeah.
And
Or like
that's
your
just
parents, maybe if they're like trying to make sure you're like being protective or whatever, like you're
maybe a concerned family member. If making sure if you
like they
know
don't want you to get pregnant, basically what I'm trying to say.
there's certain yes basically like that like it's certain scenarios in which that this person is none of those things to me. This is
Yeah.
random fucking Joe, right?
Like
What
I remember my aunt asking me that, but she wanted to make sure I was on birth control just so I didn't have like a teen pregnancy. But I wasn't doing anything, so
again? There's certain situations that's not weird.
yeah.
This is not one of those. I don't know this man.
That's my thing. We don't know you. Like I don't like, and it's like the like, oh yeah, I see you all the time, but you that isn't knowing someone. And it's like, yeah, like of course you're gonna like care about kids that you see growing up. Like I care about anybody I see like in the neighborhood, but like I feel like there's a certain level of boundaries that certain people just don't have, and that's when it becomes a problem. Like I don't understand like those teachers who want to be in kids drama. I don't really get that. Like I don't like I think it might be funny. Like these kids are like, chatting it up or something. But I don't know. I don't.
So something this situation as adult, I don't get it. Like I
I'm
will
a bad complex.
if I was to be an adult in the same time frame as this adult, I had a chance to sit down with them. I would want to know what exactly was their mind process. I, as an adult, cannot understand this. Like I need you to explain this to me so I can understand like why you are being weird because I can't understand it. Not in any regard. You know, I've never asked another person, especially like I can't even remember last time. I don't think I've ever asked a person if they were like aware or not. But then and especially if some like 15, 20 years younger than me. Why would I need to know that? Like what would the reason be for me to know regular? I mean, random whoever the hell over there. Hey, you person I do not know. Hey, do you? Does that not come across as I? I don't know.
It's so weird. Like it's like, and then it's like they bet on the fact that you don't want to tell your parents because of how uncomfortable the situation is, or like they'll try to intimidate your parents. Like, oh, I'm just looking out for them, yada yada yada. Like they do that with like my mom because like my mom's like a nice person and they'll think they can use her, and she just like stay away from that person. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just so crazy. Like
I don't get it. You know, if I'm going in my 30s. My beautiful wife's gonna be 30 this month. Um, I don't get it. You know what I mean? I don't understand it, and I guess I never will. You know what I mean? Maybe a part of me accepts that in my head. Like it's easier for me, right? Because if I can't understand it by this point in my life, I'm not gonna kill myself going forward trying to. I just that these are some weird people who need to be electrocuted in the brain, maybe. Like I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not going, but I don't know. But I'm just glad that if I were to have kids, or when, you know, looking at, it's just they're not going to be. Because I'm not saying my mother was prepared for me for that. My mother shielded me heavily from certain things. But in the time periods where she can't, I wasn't really ready. But that's not going to be a thing. Like, please take care of your kids, or you know what I mean, like, and take care of your kids. Right? Make sure that they are properly prepared to deal with these people.
and it's
Just
like I don't know, like I feel like if you can see went through like a lot of this, I think I would like to add that like if your kid is uncomfortable around certain people, take notice of that because it's usually because that person is doing stuff and they're going to try to gargle them. They're gonna try to put the blame back on them or to try to make up rumors to like make them look the bad person when they know it's them. They know it's them. And other people would know it's them, but they'll try to blame that person because it's easier. Because either they're quiet or they're like shy or they're like a different kind of kid. They're like a gamer and it's like easier to blame them than to blame like the real problem. You know what I mean?
I mean, for me, that's about it. I just wanted to get that off my chest because it's been on my mind for a while. Just, I guess overall, it's just adults and and the adults that we dealt with growing up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it, and I'm hoping that maybe that's a dead thing going forward. You know what I mean? Like, because again, we are the adults now that have gone through that, and I'm hoping that us going forward make sure that that's not a thing. You know what I mean? But I can only hope. You know what I mean? I'm not out enough to see it. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping more people may come out talk about their experiences. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't. I don't know if it's fear or uncomfortability, but I don't have a problem talking about some of the things that happen. Because at the end of the day, I just don't want nobody to get. Like, I don't know if getting away with it is the right word, but I feel the need to be able to talk about it freely. And, and it's a lot of, and it just, I know a lot of people are just like holding on to that. It's a lot of weird stuff. Like, I can go on about our gym teacher in middle school. I can go off about a lot of teachers actually throughout my life.
Yeah, although like the I want to say, but I don't want to get like
Teacher,
the R racism that we have dealt with within that community. Like that's crazy.
yeah. So
I hope all the people who went there who aren't who went through that because like I know that little there was a young man who went through it pretty bad, and that's why that situation finally got addressed. Because we definitely went through, we were there, and then after us, there was the young man who went through it too. But because of that situation, something actually finally happened. So thank goodness for that. Because when it was us, it's like just saying weird stuff like come up to you say, "Oh, you're not white." It's because that's the like you can't have autonomy of your body, or you can't have an opinion, or you can't exist and take up space because like to like put you down a peg. And it's like, girl, who are you? Like no one's worried about you. I didn't even like talking to them, so it was like, kind of concerning me. Hey, that's all for today, guys. Bye.